Welcome to the Social Space. This is the show all about Wichita Falls, Texas, and coming soon, the whole wide world. I'm one of your hosts, Eric Crossland over here. I've got to my left, in all black, Jackie Hoegger. I don't know why I want to comment on what you're wearing every day. I don't know.
But that's okay.
Okay. And everyone always dresses fresh. Andrew Bell over here.
Yes.
We always like to
look nice.
Yeah,
He's got his boot. He's got his boots on today.
Everyone loves those boots. And before we talk about the nicest dressed person over here,
Yes.
let's just thank our sponsors real quick, our
Please.
partners, News Channel 6. Boy, oh boy, ever since we moved to Sunday nights at 10:35, we've got the viewers, Jackie.
I know.
Getting harassed every which way but loose when I'm trying to buy a TP at the United. No big deal. Also, Town Square Media, News Talk
Yes.
1290. We're there 10:30 a.m. The audio version
Yes.
every Saturday.
My husband listens to it on the tractor every Saturday morning.
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
And then Tanya and Sean Choate, they own the Impact Signs Falls Truck Center. They're the ones who do all the bus wraps and all of that fun stuff.
Hey,
for
I
us.
heard you were out there droning Friday, and it was crazy busy.
It was so busy
Yeah.
out there. I love it. It's fun out there. Got all those big rigs.
is.
Go get your truck wrapped.
Yeah.
All right. Now then, enough with all that. To my right,
Yes.
the man of the hour, Fire Chief of Wichita Falls Fire Department, Ken Prillaman. Thanks for being here, Ken.
Hey, thanks for having me. It's great to be back.
Yeah, he found his caricature today when he came over here.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But hey, we got a lot to talk about, so let's get right to it.
Yes.
We've got this award, we've got this ranking for the ISO. What is an ISO, Ken, and what rank did we get?
Well, ISO is an independent organization whose primary function, as it relates to this topic at least, is to evaluate a community's ability to respond to fires. And they do that by looking at its fire department, its water distribution, specifically as it relates to supporting fire suppression, and its dispatch center in terms of our ability to take calls and dispatch the fire department out to a call. And the ISO scores all of those areas on a scale of 1 to 100, and they issue a rating for the community on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being considered the most capable community in terms of responding to fire. And 10 years ago, we moved from an ISO 3 to an ISO 2 with a rating of 82. And this year, we moved from an ISO 2 to an ISO 1 with a rating of 95.18.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. How hard is it to achieve an ISO 1?
Well, I think that there's two answers to that question, and especially for someone who's still relatively new to the community as the fire chief, because I've been making a point of saying in the 18 months that I've been here, I didn't make us an ISO 1.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be the guy who was given an opportunity to prove that we were an ISO 1. Because a lot of the underlying measurements are things that this organization has done really well for a long time. Our response time. That's the men and women who ride our trucks that do so with a sense of urgency. Our water supply system and consistently delivering the kind of pressures we need and maintaining the hydrants the way we do has been happening for a long period of time. And the dispatchers, their role in getting to calls quickly, identifying the need of the caller and getting help on the way. Those things didn't happen in the last 18 months. But I knew how to score the performance of the organization. I'd been through ISO evaluations before, and I just got to be the guy that proved that we were an ISO 1.
Yeah.
Gosh,
that's awesome.
that is awesome. Well, we're going to show a video here shortly that I think will tell this story perfectly. So thank you for allowing us to do that. I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
How many fire departments are there in the United States? And out of hundreds of those, how many of those have achieved an ISO 1?
That's what makes this very special for this community, is that ISO has evaluated more than 45,000 jurisdictions in the United States. And at the time that we were made aware of our being elevated to an ISO 1, there were only 394 other communities. We became 395. So this is less than 1% of the communities in America have a combined fire department, water distribution, dispatch center that raises to the level of an ISO 1.
So you're telling us that out of every fire department in the United States, Wichita Falls was number 395 to receive an ISO 1.
That is correct.
That's big, guys.
Yeah, that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
That is a big deal.
It really is, and that's why you guys, and we'll have Henry coming up next from
Yes.
the chamber. That's why you guys came to us and had us do what we do, and in our third segment, like you said,
Yeah.
Jackie, we're going to show this video we made. It's starring Ken and starring
Yes.
Henry. Did you feel like a movie star when you
Yeah,
saw that
I did. Really put through the ringer for a couple of days. There were some of those that we did so many times.
Yeah.
It was like, one of those has to be good by now, isn't it?
Well, just so you know, that's a typical Matt thing.
Yes.
He'll
One more
one more
time.
you 30 more
One
times.
more.
Yes.
Yeah,
One more time, Matt.
He was awesome. He was awesome to work with.
Well, Ken, thank you so much. I don't know if it's between you or Henry who's been on the show the most. This is maybe 2 or 3 for you.
This is my second time.
Okay.
Yes.
A real pleasure.
Well, Ken, thank you so much for stopping by. We're gonna have Henry on next to talk about the economic impact
Yes.
and what this means for businesses having this ISO rating. You've just done a bunch of great things since you've come.
Yeah.
And
Thank you, I
took over
appreciate
as
that.
fire chief, and we really appreciate
It's
you.
an honor to be here.
All right. Well, guys, we will be right back with Henry Florsheim.
Thank you, Ken.
Falls Truck Center has parts and is quickly becoming the go-to provider for big truck parts for every major manufacturer on the highway, including thousands of in-stock OE and quality aftermarket brands. With over 45 years combined experience selling and locating those hard-to-find parts, Joseph and Jack are on standby and ready to assist you with any repair project. Need service too? Falls Truck Center can get you in a bay and back on the road within hours, not days or weeks. Come see us at Falls Truck Center next to Flying J. Call us at 940-64-PARTS.
Hey, welcome back to the social space. Gosh, it's Valentine's Day. How did yours go? If you're watching this on our Eric Crosland, Jackie Hoegger, Andrew Bell, and to my right, gosh, so shy, never's on Facebook, Chamber President and CEO Henry Florsheim.
Yes.
I didn't realize. So people are watching us on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
We're hoping.
The lonely people that have nothing better to do are watching us on Valentine's Day.
I like to
If they're
think
closing out their night with us.
Yeah, 10:30 at night on Sunday night on Valentine's.
We love you guys.
I like to think that they're snuggled up and the day's over. And
Well, Henry, we're glad you joined us again. We always get great wisdom from you, but today's most important celebration is this ISO 1 with the fire department. So as the chamber president, tell us what that ISO 1 means to the chamber.
It means a few different things for us. More than anything else, it's the story we tell to outsiders. What is it like doing business in Wichita Falls? And so as we're telling prospects and site consultants all the different things that are going on in Wichita Falls, and we can tell them that we've got this ISO rating of 1, what does that mean to a business? That's really what it comes down to. And what it means to a business is that they're less likely to be affected by a fire, that the response times will be quicker, that when the fire department finds the business and gets there, that the water pressure is appropriate, that the firefighters have been trained appropriately, and that they know the facilities already. It means that it's a safer community to operate in than one where the fire department has a lesser rating. And so it's just great news to tell the business community. And then for the citizens, for everybody, it's just another example of excellence in how we do what we do. And so whenever we get recognition like this from outsiders, it's not just what does that mean for the business community. Let's remind the citizens that there are good things going on here in Wichita Falls, and that our fire department and the city by connection is a good example of that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now with this rating, how are we getting this information out to other communities or places around the United States?
We're in regular communications with the outside world, whether it's by social media or an email campaign that we conduct, or not just Facebook, but LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. There are all sorts of people that follow us in different ways And so we immediately, the morning this was announced at City Hall, we launched the video on our social media. And so I don't know how many tens of thousands of views later, that video still has legs. In addition to that, just this Monday, we sent out, we do a monthly email to site consultants and prospects that we're continually adding context to. And it's a mini newsletter that typically just has 2 or 3 stories about things that are going on in Wichita Falls. It could be a business expansion or something cool at Midwestern State University. Well, the lead story this time was this story, was telling the story of our fire department and the quality in which they operate.
Hey, you know, the press release the other day, I heard the chief say there are a certain number of seconds that when a fire happens, that the fire department shows up. Do y'all remember how many seconds he said?
320?
I remember 320. That was one of the numbers we heard. Yeah.
320 seconds from the time it's called in.
It's crazy.
Whew.
And you wonder why you see so many fire stations around town. And that's
Yes.
why. Because they've got a certain radius and they've got to be able to get out to anywhere in the city within a set period of time. And so that's the cool thing about this whole ISO evaluation. It's not just about the firefighters on the truck. It's about the water distribution system, and it's also about dispatch, and it's also about how's your department set up to cover the entire community, and are there any blind spots that you can't get to as quickly? And apparently in Wichita Falls, there are not.
And you know, I think for a big business looking at Wichita Falls, that's a big deal.
I would think so.
To knowing that if I'm going to invest millions of dollars in industry, if something happens, we have a solid fire department.
Absolutely, and we haven't even mentioned insurance rates yet. This also means that insurance rates can come down, especially if you've got a facility where there's lots of flammable materials in there that a fire would do serious damage to. This can lower your insurance rates, making it cheaper to do business in Wichita Falls.
That's awesome.
Amen.
We love it that they can get there everywhere so fast. We know you can get to the top of the Holt real fast.
We do.
We are going to, thank you so much, Henry. And I would be remiss if you were here to not mention y'all's, because we love working with the fire department, we love working with you, so we love working with you guys on Made in the Falls. That 𝙨𝙬𝙤𝙬 was a great video, and we've got a special one coming up soon. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Well, speaking of Valentine's, right? Yeah, Brooke Willis and B Cocoa Artisan Chocolate, who was your guest last week, is going to be our next feature of Made in the Falls.
Awesome.
Really can't wait.
Love working with you. Love working with the fire department. We're going to take a break and we're going to show the video we did to celebrate this ISO. I just want to mention something to our radio viewers. Sometimes we play these videos and you might hear like, Matt will put in like 5 seconds of complete silence, and it's cool when you're watching it, but if you listen to the radio, you might be like, did it stop? No, just the talking will start again.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be just as interesting to listen to as it is to watch it. So we're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're just going to go right into that video. Okay. And there we go, guys. Another one in the books.
Yeah.
Awesome.
On behalf of Chief Ken Prillaman, Henry Florsheim, Hayden Gerstner back there, Andrew Bell, Jackie Hoegger. I'm Eric Crossland. This has been The Social Space.
Four incredible radio stations. That's who we are. We are Town Square Media, and we bring the best of radio to the North Texas area. Wake up early with News Talk 1290. That's us. How about Kelly Raspberry on 92.9 NIN? Yep, that's us. Bringing you the best of country with 102.3 The Bull. That's us. And rocking it all day long with 106.3 The Buzz. That's us. We are Town Square Media, and we're proud to be a sponsor of the Social.
When you lay your head down at night and you've got a business that you've shut the lights out for the night, you want to know that if something happens, you're in a community that is amongst the best. There's a lot of things in homes in particular that insurance doesn't replace. It doesn't replace World War II medals that are hanging in a frame. And so the speed of our response and the weight of our response becomes very important to protect those things. So ISO is an independent organization whose function it is to measure the effectiveness of a community's response to fire. ISO has evaluated more than 39,000 independent fire department jurisdictions across the country, and as of yesterday, there were only 394 fire departments that had achieved an ISO Level 1. We become number 395 in the nation.
This rating tells our citizens that living here is safe.
Right now we have several people wanting to come to town, and they're going to build 100, 200, $300 million facilities. One of the first things they're going to look at is this rating.
Businesses that are looking to locate to communities look at that ISO score because it directly impacts their insurance rates.
Damage to customer relationships, damage to the flow of operations, to your business as a going concern. Sometimes those impacts can last years.
The more we're able to share this story with others, the more likely they are to want to do business in Wichita Falls.
We've got a better chance in Wichita Falls of not ever getting to the point where we've lost our facilities due to fire.
Wichita Falls, like every city across the country, is subject to a new ISO evaluation every 10 years. They do so by evaluating various aspects within the fire department, our water supply system, and our dispatch center. And when they do the evaluation across literally dozens of those individual components, those scores are added up, and any score above 90 is considered an ISO Class 1. The City of Wichita Falls scored a 95.18.
We keep our families at home, and we want to feel safe and understand that we're going to be protected should something happen, that we've got the absolutely best fire protection system, the best fire department, the best firefighters that any community could possibly have.
It was an honor to lead that effort, but that effort was really accomplished because of the effort put in by our crews and that day-to-day coordination and cooperation that exists between the fire department, the water department, and our dispatch center. I think one of the things that's hard sometimes for outsiders to understand is what we refer to as the brotherhood or sisterhood of the fire service and belonging to something that's bigger than us. I believe that, our Creator designed us with a DNA that allows us to run into burning buildings when most people are inclined to run out. So for us, this is a calling.
Copy that. Engine 3 is on the scene and in command.
It's hard to put into words how proud I am of this organization and the support we get from our water department and our dispatch center. Achieving an ISO 1 is one of those things that most fire chiefs won't experience any time in their career. And it's just hard to put in words the value of that. You know, how do you value a better night's sleep when you own a business here and know that it's within a community that has one of the best fire departments in the country?
I'm so proud of just our city and our fire department and the chief for working towards this.
The more people that find out about things like this, the more a positive story gets out there about Wichita Falls, no matter who it's from.
This ISO 1 rating is evidence that we're doing things right.
And I hope the citizens can understand what this ISO 1 rating really means to Wichita Falls. It's not just affecting one business or the other, or one residence or the other, it's affecting all 105,000 citizens.
When we go out into the field, out into the streets to help our neighbors, it doesn't feel like a job. It doesn't feel heroic. We oftentimes describe firefighters as not being heroes for what they do, but being heroes for what they're willing to do. Every single person on this fire department is willing to risk something to save that life.
To anyone that's watching this, when you see a firefighter, please acknowledge them, thank them.
Every day I pin this badge on and honored to be a part of this fire department in this city.